yo, this is my discharger at this point in the league. Pretty much done. Like, I'm only level 98, done my challenges. Um, but yeah, just updating on the disabled intended game mechanic, Ralakesh Impatience uh, boots discharger. If you didn't see, by the way, Lily's build, if you grab the microtransaction, which is this one, you don't make that stupid noise that you always make whenever you click your weapon swap button and your charges. That beautiful noise there. That doesn't happen anymore. So pay to win. I haven't bought it because I don't know, build's probably dead next league, but that's whatever. We'll see. My build. So yeah, still pretty much the same thing. Got a +1 max power ring. Not even crafted for this build. Like, I'm not even like lightning res cap without charge, which is pretty bad. Sometimes you drop dead if there's a big lightning hit, just as you discharge. Whatever. I'd fix it, but I don't really die enough to care in softcore. Build same thing. It's a bit better, but still not great. Like that strength roll may look cool, but really it's just like +30 life. Don't need it, so there's that. Gloves are good, still same thing, not even finished crafting them. Prefixes could have 50% damage while leeching, which is damage, and then implicits can also be a tier or two higher, I think. The ward isn't even double corrupted with implicits. You can have +1/+2, which gives you like something ridiculous like 50-60% damage. So you may as well just throw all your money at that. I'm not actually sure what the odds are. I think it's like 1 in 12 to hit one of the two that you need, which is +2 AoE or +1 socketed. And then you can go from there. I'm using like one, I mean, these are all the same, but the thing that I've changed now is I'm Leftside, so I'm deck starved, and I'm using Grace Implicit Corruption on my 2 different shields, which is pretty cool. Means you can just use Grace regardless of your decks. Grace just like generally is a better aura for like bossing because big hits, weird stuff happens. Defenses don't make much sense, but yeah. You can see I've got like 2 different weapon swaps there now. Like I'm not using identical ones. Like my boots are still disabled through both, but I have this one, which is like the traditional Void Battery Malachi's Loop. So this is the one where I'm going to be discharging, so where all my damage is. And then this one is like purely defensive. Like this thing, most people probably never seen this. This is dropped from Elder, I think. Purely like defensive mace, pretty cool. Gives me like a bit of armor and a bunch of like reduced ally damage taken per endurance charge. And like you take some damage, but no, it's like it's defensive, it's good. This thing, max res, it's Saffles, it's like classic like defensive thing. You can see I've got like pretty good defenses here. When I weapon swap to this, I'm like basically 80 all res. And click this Immortal Call, pretty strong. Just cool. So yeah, basically I run around. I have this Immortal Call up about 60% of the time. Then when I want to discharge, I just like swap, hit, and then swap again. And back on this defensive one. This like reduces your chance of being caught. Obviously it's softcore, so you want to be running around as much as possible, but it's a pretty cool. Like when I was doing Sim 30 and like full deli, you can run around like this pretty safely in those, and you feel pretty strong. And you can just swap and discharge, and as long as like if you Immortal Call and swap discharge, it's pretty tough to die. So yeah. I have not gotten stun immune or bleeding immune. Like the Pantheon can help you a little with stun, but bleeding you have to use the flask. So you can for bleeding. If you take something like this, you get 30 here, and if you put like what 5 of these on strength nodes, you'll get bleeding immunity from that, which is really good. Because bleeding stops the boots from working, or no, which is definitely an unintended mechanic of the game. But yeah, so you probably want to do that. Like if you don't want to click your flask, I'm just used to clicking the flask, so I don't mind. Same goes for stun. Like being stunned, it sucks. Enormous discharge helps a lot because I mean it's like you get stunned, you can still discharge because the cast time is so fast. But if you have enough dex nodes, which I'm not sure if I do here, You can maybe get Sun Immune. I mean, you can always take this, but then you Grace doing nothing, so a bit of a waste of time. Yeah, you can also use like the Ellie ones and the Chaos Res ones if you want to cap that out properly. Like you probably should. Like you shouldn't be sitting at 56 lightning res. You probably should get like res on a ring or a belt, but I haven't bothered. Other things that have changed, I just have like mostly triple multi jewels are sitting around my tree. I've got the Fortify from Champions, so we have 20 Fortify all the time. I have a Watches here, which has Leech on it and Pen. Like I have another one which I should be, well, I will be using if I play this league, although I'm pretty done. Like with Grace, Suppress, and then like whatever other mod works. In this case, we're using Conk Ground, increased damaged. So I can chuck that in and then just take like 2 points for Dorian his lesson to get my Leech there, and then I'll still have Slayer Overleech and stuff on my Discharge, which is fine. Yeah, we go all the way down here. We can get Lethe Shade. We can get like spell suppress lucky, so we still suppress like the majority of spells. We're playing softcore, so it doesn't matter too much. And then we also have like a double balance temp chains, so we more CDR. In combination with the belt means like the Discharge is just slam, and then it's like it's already back up. So don't need second wind when it's that lower CDR. So what's going on in the middle? Why am I left side at all? What's the point? So Rational Doctrine gives you access to Conk Ground, but basically free. So I'm just, as long as strength is my biggest attribute, you can see I just have Conk Ground on me. Whenever I do anything, I get Conk Ground. Unless I run around for more than 4 seconds without doing anything, it'll drop off. So that's pretty cool. That's like reduced curse effect, bit of regen. Maybe not worth a slot by itself, but when you combine it with using specific militant faiths with this cloistered mod, means we get ailment immunity for being on Conk Ground, which is pretty handy. Means like scary shocks, stuff like that. Brittles, things that might kill you on like sim and scary maps don't affect you anymore. So at the cost of having to use Unnatural Instinct here, we can use this node. This also means that the devotion points on the militant phase, you actually get a fair bit of it. So I'm sitting at 200 devotion right now, which is a fairly big chunk. So what, that's like 40 all res, 80% increased damage. So if you have ideally you get one with like all res and non-curse aura effect, and then yeah, that would be pretty cool. Something like 20 aura effect and 40 all res. Plus you get M1 immunity. I've got 1 max res here. You can get a max res here. Still get access to like this stuff. It's pretty cool. There's a tool in POE that lets you search. Really cool. So I just thought this was cool. Like, it's an interesting way to do it. It means you don't have to go down like the Storm Shroud route where you get like avoid shock stuff. Kind of annoying. I guess it's not too bad. Maybe this is worth doing if you corrupt or craft them yourself, but it's pretty expensive. You can see I'm just using like a CB jewel. It's just whatever. Other things to think about. So if you wanted to push this build like even further for survivability, you could take out Pure Device. You can take something like this to get the mana reservation, and then you could say roll like one of these and try to hit Ghost Dance and take off Eldritch Battery. You'd have to then like get mana cost here, probably have to chuck some tattoos in to get mana regen, so it wouldn't feel like complete trash, but you would be way tankier. You drop RF, you lose like a bit of damage, but the damage between like 120 mil and like 80 mil is really not too much hit. Like you're still gonna be feeling real good, and you'll be super tank. You can always get like more spell suppress, so instead of this, like you get something like this, and you go and double corrupt it. You pray that you hit +1 and whatever else. And big upgrades. Even probably this is like a huge defensive upgrade over a Heat Shiver. But yeah, I think that's like most of the stuff that I've done. I've kind of cleared like everything I want to in the game. Most of it I've done like deathless at least once. Some fights are still a bit rough, but like, yeah. Did Uber Serious, which is meant to be like one of the worst fights in the game, and like same with Uber Elder, so those are fine. Like builders probably gonna die next league, but it's been fun. I really like, yeah, Leftside is really cool. So let's see.